The last day of the World Cup group stage today, and boy was it ever unremarkable in one group in particular. Hey there, I'm Adrian and welcome to World Cup Daily, where I'll guide you through the final hurdle of the group stage. If you're new to the channel, then don't be shy about hitting subscribe and saying hello in the comments section. Who are you supporting? How are you feeling about their chances? Hit me up. Okay, let's start with Group H and Senegal versus Colombia. Both of these teams started the match fairly cautiously, with Senegal perhaps showing a little more attacking intent than their adversaries. However, Colombia got their first bit of danger when Quintero's bouncing free kick forced a save out of Ndiaye. In the 24th minute, following a foul on Quintero, again, the ensuing free kick by Quintero, again, Falcao headed over the bar, which was the most dangerous opportunity at that point, besides the free kick from earlier. Senegal went the other way and Mane's shot was blocked, falling to Keita Balde, whose strike was easily saved by Ospina. To be honest, this wasn't the greatest performance by Colombia, as they looked as if they were the walking wounded out there. Nor was it a good performance by Senegal either, but Colombia players were in the correct positions, but it seemed like a labor for them at times, completely different from their barn burner against Poland. And that was solidified even further when James was substituted off at the 30th minute of the match for Luis Murillo. I guess his calf still isn't quite right. From there wasn't much in this match, with the biggest story being James going off injured and the VAR penalty reversal decision when Mane was tackled in the Colombia box, but the referee adjudged the defender to have gotten the ball first, and I think it was the right call, despite me wanting there to be a goal in this match because it was in desperate need for one at halftime. With not much happening in this match, I may as well give some love to Salif Sané, the other center back for Senegal, and I say other as everyone talks about Koulibaly, and rightfully so. He's an incredible defender, but Sané has been solid for Senegal all tournament long. Now, of course, right after I had that thought about Senegal's great defenders, a Colombian defender steps up and scores. Finally, Yerry Mina lost his marker on a corner and powered a header into the ground past Ndiaye. That was Mina's second at this World Cup, as he became their top scorer so far. The game sort of dribbled on slowly from there, with Senegal unable to find an equalizer, and so we go to the other match to see Japan's fate. And Senegal's fate. Much like the other match in this group, both teams started out a bit hesitantly until a Japanese opportunity came by way of a diving Okazaki header that went well wide in the end. Poland came the other way and the so far goalless Robert Lewandowski had an opportunity, but it resulted in a corner kick. Again though, it was evident that Poland weren't playing with enough pace or creativity, as every time they recovered the ball, they were far too slow to move it out of the back. However, they came damn close to getting a goal when Grosicki's attempt was saved well by Kawashima on the line. The ball was about halfway over the line, so it was a close call indeed. Other than that, with Japan's changes that they made, they looked comfortable in the first half. They didn't look like they were being stretched too much by Poland, but then again, Japan also looked like they were lacking a cutting edge in their attack. And I mean, that's going to happen when you don't have Honda or Kagawa out there. As the result stood at halftime, they would be moving on, given that the other match was still at 0-0 as well. So, how did that affect their game plan for the second half? Well, it was Poland who got the first goal of the match, as the seemingly dead-in-the-water team struck from a free kick with defender Jan Bednarek getting on the end of a lofted ball. From there, though, Poland began to come alive, which is typical of their World Cup campaigns. Start slow and then win in a meaningless match at the end of their tournament. And things got even more tense for Japan when they heard that Colombia was winning over Senegal, and that's when it started to drive home even more. What the f was the Japanese coach doing with all of these changes? No Honda, no Kagawa, and not much of a creative spark in their attack. Major questions will be asked of him following this tournament, no matter what happens in the remainder of this match or tournament. And what happened in the remainder of the match was absolute garbage, to be honest, as Japan just held on to the ball and played keep away with the ball in the back line. It looked embarrassing, to be honest, as it looked just like the Simpsons depiction of the World Cup. Japan happy to just waste time on the basis that they would advance based on the fact that they had less yellow cards than Senegal. That's right. This match became a complete farce, with Japan passing it around the back and standing around waiting for the match to end due to them being able to advance thanks to the fair play rule. Really? There's got to be a better way than that to settle a tiebreaker at the World Cup. But here, I'll show you the table anyways. Colombia steal first with 6 points. Japan in second with 4 points despite the loss. Senegal in third with 4, separated only by having more yellows than Japan. And Poland in last with 3 points. So, for the first time since 1982, an African side has failed to make it into the last 16 of the World Cup. But who would Colombia and Japan be facing in the next round? That was dependent upon the strange match that would be Belgium versus England. And I say that it was strange because, as you saw, neither team had winning as their priority. In fact, if you were to believe some of the national media from both England and Belgium, you would think that both teams would actually prefer to lose in order to end up on the easier path to the World Cup finals. The runner-up of Group H would go on to play Colombia. Not exactly an easy team to face, but would end up on the same side of the bracket as Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, Croatia, Russia, and Spain, as opposed to playing versus Japan and having to potentially face Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, France, Portugal, or Uruguay on your way to the final. Basically, the first place team would play Japan in the round of 16 and then either Brazil or Mexico in the quarterfinals, while the runner-up would face Colombia and then the winner of Sweden versus Switzerland. That's the condensed version of it. I gave you both though in case you wanted it. With that in mind, however, both teams looked like they were really going for the win, as the fringe players who got some playing time no doubt saw this as an opportunity to give their coaches a few hard decisions to make for the round of 16. Fellaini got the start for Belgium, and yes, he did look like one of their more dangerous players, winning what seemed like every single aerial battle he was involved in. Nothing else really happened besides a Michy Batshuayi / Jordan Pickford collaboration that led to a goal line clearance from Daddy Cahill. In the second half, however, we were treated to a sumptuous goal from none other than Belgian legend Adnan Januzaj, the guy who people had been scratching their heads at when he was included in the squad. The guy who Kevin De Bruyne blatantly destroyed in training with zero remorse. Also, that goal meant that for the first time in 15 World Cup appearances, England have failed to keep a single clean sheet in the group stage. Nothing to worry about there though, to be honest. Or, wait, is there? And while the goal was impressive, the highlight of the match came right after the ball hit the back of the net from Januzaj's strike. Oh. Michy, take a bow, my son. What a hit that was, and the finish to boot. Oof, beautiful. Rashford had perhaps England's best opportunity to equalize as he was in one-on-one on Courtois, but he was unable to get the ball around Courtois in his massive frame. I thought that Rashford was for sure going to open up his body and fake the strike to drag it around the onrushing Courtois, but I'm not a pro footballer, and easier said than done. Hell, I even thought that squaring it to give his teammate the empty goal and a sure thing would have been a better play, but hey, I'm not a footballer. A pro footballer at least. From there, while England had a couple of okay moves forward, Belgium definitely looked the better side, proving what we already knew. Their squad depth is much better than England's. I'd say 1-0 is the correct result. And before we go to the table, just because I know one or two of you will be interested, here's what happened in the Tunisia versus Panama match, the forgotten match of Thursday evening. Well, I mean, all you need to know about this one is that despite it finishing 2-1 Tunisia scored all of the goals, as Panama took a first half lead through a Yassine Mariah carry own goal. Just Yassine Mariah. Then, in the second, Fakhreddine Ben Youssef, the ginger Tunisian, got on the end of a perfectly squared ball from Khazri to roll the ball past a very, very helpless indeed Panamanian keeper. 1-1. To be honest with you, this was probably the more interesting match, actually. But anyways, 15 minutes after that, the Tunisians weren't finished with the little CONCACAF team that could, as Khazri went from provider to finisher in this one, as again, a squared ball was the undoing of the Panama defense. Great vision there from Oussama Haddadi. Okay, and with that, Tunisia got the W, Panama take their final L, and we can take a look at the final table. Belgium top it with 9 points. England in second with 6 points. Tunisia in third with 3 points. These points tallies are very numerically pleasing. We're talking 3 times tables here. And Panama is at the bottom with 0. And so that means that Belgium will be facing Japan in the round of 16 on the tougher side of the bracket, while England will face Colombia on the easier, in quotation marks, side of the bracket. And that's it. The group stage has concluded. There's no group stage matches for me to preview for you. So, what can you expect from me in the next couple of days? First of all, I'll be reacting to my group stage predictions to see how my pre-tournament predictions panned out. Then, I'll be hitting you guys with some round of 16 predictions. Cool? Cool. I hope to see you in these videos, and take care. Bye.